Hello again, year 2. We're back with another Chat to the Faraway Tree, and today we are on Rick Gets Into Trouble. When Joe and the others heard the angry voice behind them, they turned in surprise. Nobody but Rick knew what the angry little man was talking about. "Knocker?" said Joe in amazement. "What knocker? We haven't got your knocker." "That bad boy is eating my knocker," cried the man, and he pointed to Rick. "I had a beautiful one made of lovely peppermint, and now that boy's nearly eaten it all up." They all stared at Rick. He went very red. What was left of the knocker was in his mouth. "Did you really take his peppermint knocker?" said Joe, glaring at Rick. "Whatever were you thinking of, Rick?" "Well, I never just thought," said Rick, swallowing the rest of the knocker in a hurry. "I saw it there on the door and it looked so nice, and I'm very sorry." "That's all very well," said the angry man, "but being sorry won't bring back my knocker. You're a bad boy. You come and sit in my house till the others are ready to go. I won't have you going about in our land, eating knockers and chimneys and windowsills." "You better go, Rick," said Joe. "We'll call for you when we're ready to go home. We won't be long now. Anyway, you've eaten quite enough." So poor Rick had to go into the house with the angry little man, who made him sit on a stool and keep still. The others wandered off again. "Oh, we mustn't be here much longer," said Moonface. "It's almost time for this land to move on. Look, strawberries and cream." The children stared at the strawberries and cream. They'd never seen such a sight before. The strawberries grew by the 100 on strawberry plants, but each strawberry had its own big blob of cream growing on it, ready to be eaten. "They're even sugared," said Joe, picking one. "Look, my strawberry is powdered with white sugar, and the cream, it's delicious." They enjoyed the strawberries and cream, and then Joe had a good idea. "I know. What about taking some of these lovely goodies back with us?" he said. "What's his name would love a plum pie, and the angry pixie would like some of those ice cream flowers, and Dame Washalot, I'm sure she'd love some strawberries." "Oh, Mother would like a lot of things too," said Beth happily. So they began collecting puddings and pies and cakes. It was fun. The cherry pie had so many cherries that they all dripped down Moonface's leg. "Oh, you'll have to take a bath, Moonface," said Silky. "You're very sticky." They nearly forgot to call for poor Rick as they passed the house whose knocker he had eaten. He banged loudly on the window and they all stopped. "Oh gosh, we nearly forgot about Rick," said Beth. Rick, come on, we're going." Rick came running out the house. The little man called after him, "Now don't you go eating anyone's knockers again." "Goodness. Why have you got all those things?" asked Rick in surprise, looking at the puddings and pies and cakes. "Are they for our supper?" "Rick, how can you think of supper after eating such a lot?" cried Joe. "Well, I'm sure I couldn't even eat a piece of chocolate before tomorrow morning. No, these things are for what's-his-name and Dame Washalot and Mother. Come on. Moonface says this land will soon be on the move." They all went to the hole that led down through the cloud. It didn't take long to climb down the ladder and onto the big branch outside Moonface's house. Rick came last, and he suddenly missed his footing and fell right down the ladder on top of the others below, and he knocked the puddings, pies and cakes right out their hands. Down went all the goodies, bumping from branch to branch. The children and the others stared after them in dismay. Then there came a very angry yell from below. "Who's throwing that cherry pie at me? Wait till I get them. I've got cherries in syrup all over me. It burst on my head." Then there came an angry shout from lower down still. "Plum pie? Plum pie in my wash tub? Hot dogs in my wash tub? Peppermints down my neck? Oh, you rascals up there, I'm coming after you, yes I am." And from still lower down came the voice of the angry pixie, and a very angry pixie he was indeed. "Ice cream on my nose, ice cream down my neck, ice cream in my pockets. What's next? Who's doing all this? Wait till I come up and tell them what I think." The children listened, half frightened and very amused. They began to giggle. "Plum pie in Dame Washalot's tub," giggled Joe. "Ice cream on the angry pixie's nose," said Beth. "Oh, look out, I believe they really are coming up," said Joe in alarm. "Look, isn't that what's-his-name?" They all peered down the tree. Yes, it was what's-his-name climbing up, looking very angry. The saucepan man leaned over a bit too far and nearly fell. Rick caught him just in time, but one of his kettles came loose and fell down. It banged from branch to branch and landed on poor old what's-his-name's big head. He gave a tremendous yell. What? Is that you, Saucepan, throwing all these things down the tree? What you want is a good scolding, and you'll get it. And anyone else up there playing tricks will get a fine scolding too. A scolding? Said Dame Washalot's voice. A scolding, roared the angry pixie not far from behind. Gosh, said Joe in alarm. It looks as if the land of scoldings is about to arrive up here. I vote we go home. You better shut your door, Moonface. And you and Silky and Saucepan had better lie down on the sofa and the bed and pretend to be asleep. Then maybe those angry people will think it's somebody up in the land of goodies who's been throwing all these things down. Rick ought to stay up there and get the scolding, said Moonface gloomily. First he goes and eats someone's door knocker, and then he gets into trouble, and then he falls on top of us all and sends all the goodies down the tree. I'm going down the slippery slip with the children, said Silky, who was very afraid of Mr. What's-his-name when he was in a temper. I can climb up to my house and lock myself in before all those angry people come down again. Saucepan, why don't you come too? Saucepan thought that he would. So the children and Silky and Saucepan all slid down the slippery slip. Just in time too. Mr. What's-his-name came shouting up to Moonface's door as Joe, who was last, slid down. Moonface had shut his door. He was lying on his bed pretending to be asleep. What's-his-name banged hard on the door. Moonface didn't answer. What's-his-name peeped in at the window. Moonface! Wake up! Wake up, I say! What's the matter? Said Moonface in a sleepy voice, sitting up and rubbing his eyes. Dame Washalot and the angry pixie came up too. The pixie had ice cream all over him, and what's-his-name had cherry pie down him. They were all very angry. They opened Moonface's door and went in. Who was it threw all those things down on us? Asked what's-his-name. Where's Saucepan? Did he throw that kettle? I'm going to scold him. Whatever are you talking about? Said Moonface, pretending not to know. How sticky you are, what's-his-name. And so are you, said what's-his-name suddenly, seeing cherry syrup shining all down Moonface's legs. It was you who threw that pudding down on me. Oh my, I'll give you such a scolding. Then all three of them went for poor Moonface, who got a terrible scolding. He rolled over to the slippery slip and slid down it in a fright. He shut out the trapdoor just in time to see Silky and Saucepan saying goodbye to the children. They were very surprised when Moonface shut out beside them. I've had a scolding, wept Moonface. They all scolded me because I was sticky, so they thought I'd thrown all the goodies at them, and I'm afraid to go back because they'll be waiting for me. Oh, poor Moonface, said Joe, and it was all Rick's fault. Listen, Silky can climb back up to her house, but you and Saucepan had better come back with us and stay the night. Rick and I will sleep downstairs on the sofa, and you can have our beds. Mother won't mind. All right, said Moonface, wiping his eyes. That'll be fun. Oh, what a pity we wasted all those lovely goodies. I really do think Rick is a clumsy boy. They all went home together, and poor Rick didn't say a word. Oh, but he did wish he could make up for all he had done. Okay. Next chapter is A Surprising Visitor. See you tomorrow.